Welcome back to another Final Space video. Today we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite space prisoner and how he and his dad could be a parallel, or at least a tribute, to Star-Lord from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. So, Peter Quill and Gary Goodspeed. I could frame this video around the fact that these two traversers of the cosmos have similar personalities in their constant humor and upbeat demeanors, but that just means Olin Rogers and Chris Pratt have similar funny personalities.
And I was making shortcakes. Pooping. I was pooping.
I have hot snakes, you guys.
What's hot snakes?
It's when the diarrhea comes out like a hot snake.
Andy!
So instead of comparing their quirks, I'll look at the origins and the backstory of the character themselves to explain how Star-Lord and Gary might have a lot more in common than you think. There's one thing you need to know before moving any further, and that's about Gary's father, John Goodspeed's Wikipedia page. The page formally stated that his species was half human, and although it doesn't anymore, this is well documented on the Reddit threads concerning Final Space and on the actual Wikipedia page in the comments section. Also, the page has his origin as unknown, as in not on Earth. And while this could simply be that he's from a different planet because it is the future, it's a little suspect to me. But how does this relate to Star-Lord? Okay, don't worry, we're getting there. Peter Quill is another character who's half human. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, we learn that he's half human, half celestial. He's the child of the human Meredith Quill and of the celestial being Ego, also known as Ego the Living Planet from the comic books. Okay, so what? Peter Quill's half human, John Goodspeed is half human, and Gary is at least 1/4 alien, assuming that his mom is fully human. This doesn't mean that Gary and John are celestials like Peter Quill. True, but they could be. Let's take a look at Ego. Ego is described as a megalomaniacal celestial being with quite the god complex. He desired to find meaning by conquering the entire universe with an event called the Expansion, in which all life-sustaining planets would be seeded and bloom into extensions of himself. However, this process needed two celestials. So what did Ego do? Oh, nothing. He just traveled the entire universe, impregnating countless sentient species in the hopes that one of his offspring would inherit the celestial gene and come back and help Daddy achieve his goal. This guy fucks. Ego hires the Yondu Ravagers clan to retrieve all of his children, and he then kills them because none of them possess the celestial gene. He eventually hears about a man named Peter Quill who can hold an Infinity Stone without dying, and this to Ego is proof that it's his son with the celestial gene. And then ensues the plot of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Go watch the film. In Final Space, there is a celestial being that interacts with humans, and that is the Titan Bolo. Also able to take the form of a planet like Ego, Bolo is partial to life and is the only Titan that doesn't want to wreak havoc on the universe. What if Bolo is John Goodspeed's father? After all, John Goodspeed and his son Gary have huge egos.
You met anybody?
No, well, kind of. I'm seeing two people at the same time, but mainly I'm not like cheating because they're the same person.
Got it. Time travel thing.
Yes!
Been there.
Nice pair.
If Bolo can transform into a planet like Ego can, why can't he impregnate a human being? Or any sentient life for that matter? Also, remember when Bolo said this line?
Beyond this point, only one of you may enter, and it's already been pre-selected. You've been chosen. But then again, you were already selected before you were even born.
John Goodspeed, the half-human, half-celestial, wasn't able to close the breach, which was his mission bestowed upon him by his Titan father. So Bolo had to resort to Gary, the son of the man he originally chose, to complete the mission. This is similar to how Peter Quill was kinda chosen by Ego to help him start the expansion, except Peter Quill realizes that Ego is the one that kills his mom, and he stops him. What if one of the Titans killed Gary's dad with that energy blast? That's another video. So, John and Gary Goodspeed and Peter Quill are all descended from celestial beings, and were destined to do something for those beings. Peter Quill to initiate the expansion with Ego, and Gary to close the breach for Bolo. But how did Bolo find Gary? Ego found his offspring by hiring Yondu to round them all up. Apparently, celestial beings with their infinite power can't find their kids. Bolo is no different, and while he did appear to Nightfall, recall this dialogue he had with Mooncake.
You're the key to final space. Because that's what you're made of. Final space.
Bolo could have manipulated final space to create Mooncake. Mooncake, unbeknownst to himself, could have been sent by Bolo to Gary in order to close the breach. Remember that when Mooncake finds Gary, he just finds him and sticks around because they have a special connection. Also, Mooncake found Gary when Gary was all grown up, not as a kid when his father just died and Mooncake was just created. This is similar to how Peter Quill was found as a grown-up and returns to Ego as an adult to fulfill the mission bestowed upon him. Whether or not Gary's character, or his father's character for that matter, were chosen to be modeled after Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it's interesting how Gary was chosen by this celestial being, the Titan Bolo, and the half-human similarities Peter Quill and Gary Goodspeed share. All we can hope for in Season 2 is that they dedicate an episode to exploring the origins of the Goodspeed family, and that they resolve the drama with the Titans and the Lord Commander. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Gary and his father are modeled after Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy? Also, do you think the Goodspeeds are descended from Titans? Let me know down below. As always, thanks for watching and supporting this channel. If you like Final Space content, consider joining us aboard the Galaxy 1 by clicking that subscribe button down below. Also, feel free to comment your theories and ideas on this video. Until next time, chookity!